Bunnies, for today's video we're going to be talking about this hair that I'm wearing right now, and this is the Main Concept Nature Bundles in the Curl Fresh Wave. I got this in my local beauty supply store. The lengths are 24, 26 and 28 inches. It is a human hair blend, and they do have a shorter version of this which I believe is 14, 16, 18 inches, and it does come with a center part closure. Now the color that I'm wearing is a two-tone ombre 1B27. I went with the 27 because I thought it was closer to the color that I dyed my hair, but I feel like the 30 would have been a more flawless blend. I am still happy with this color though. I'm very surprised with how good it looks on my skin tone. I think it looks good, especially because it is ombre, and it is ombre on all the bundles. It's not just like, you know, the shortest one or the longest one that has that ombre tone, because there are some brands who do that where or I think the same Main Concept, they have one, they're Brazilian, whatever it's called, only one bundle is actually ombre while the rest of them are like a solid 30 or whatever the other color is. That's one of the things I like about this hair, that it is blended all the way throughout with the ombre color, so you can, if you have black hair, blend, you know, pretty well, or if you have, you know, an ombre colored hair, you could possibly find the color that would match your hair perfectly. Now I do like the fact that it is a human hair blend. I would have preferred if it was 100% human, but I do like that there is some human in there. It's not completely synthetic, so it's not going to be all trashy in 2 days like a normal synthetic wig would. And I did make this into a U-part wig. It's not bonded or sewn to my head. I put it on a dome cap and actually used the hot glue gun method to make this wig, and it took me like literally maybe like an hour max to complete the entire wig and then sew it down onto my head. I had this styling now literally for 1 week to the day. I actually bought this hair a while back and I put it in for 1 day, and I was just not happy with it, and that was more so on my part than anything else, because I left out way too much hair in the front right here than I should have, and blending for me was just an issue and I didn't like it at all. So I decided to retry the wig, put it on, braid my hair down, sew it back in, and I like it a lot more now, but I still have a few things that I'm not happy with. Because it does have the synthetic in there, it does tangle, it does shed. It sheds a lot. Mind you, I did cut my wefts, and the wefts are pretty thin. It's not like super paper thin where you can't, like, you know, glue it or whatever. It's thin, but the 3 bundles that you get in there, the 24, the 20, it can do your entire head. This is the entire pack of 24, 20. And with shedding, it's still pretty full. Like, it's very, very, very full in the back. Like I said, it does tangle in the back, but it's not tangling to the point, you know, when you see a synthetic unit, how it just gets real gnarly in the back. It's nothing like that. For me, the tangling happens mainly only actually where it touches my back, where it's touching my clothing. The top parts of the hair, if I'm just walking around, you wouldn't know that I'm tangling at all. I get so many compliments on this hair you would not believe, but if I told the people how much this hair shed, they wouldn't believe me at all. When I say this thing sheds, I mean this thing sheds. And yes, I did cut the wefts, but still I did hot glue it, so I expected, you know, the hot glue to at least seal the wefts some kind of way. The junk still shedded like crazy. If you want a style for like a week, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, I think this would be good. Maybe even 3 weeks with proper maintenance, because for me, how I sleep at night, I just wrap it up into a bun and then put my bonnet on there. I went 1 night without a cap just to see what would happen, and don't do that. Don't sleep on this hair without some kind of satin covering over it, because you're just gonna wake up with a mess, a complete mess. Now for my hair in the front here, all I did was flat iron it straight and then brush it in. I thought that when you wet it, it would get this curlier texture, kind of like, you know, when you used to buy the wet and wavy hair in your hair store. I thought it would be something like that, because, you know, most of the wet and wavy hair, if it's not 100%, it's human hair blend, right? I thought that when you wet it up, you get a completely different curl pattern, but while you do get a more defined curl, when it dries, it comes back big and poofy. You probably can't see. Tangle. Okay, so this is it here, and I literally just detangled it using this spray. It's called Remy and I'll put a picture, but it's in a green bottle. It's cocoa and lime. It smells really good. Oh, another thing, because it does have synthetic in there, it traps smell like nobody's business. So you want to make sure that you have something that you're putting on there to take the smell out. And this is where this spray comes in. It works really well with this hair. It conditions it, it detangles it, and it gives it an amazing smell. I do believe they have maybe like 4 or 5 different ones, but the one I have is the cocoa and lime, which is the one in the green bottle. Now this is the tangling that I'm talking about here. Can you see that? With this, and this is only where it's touching my hair. If you look up here on the top part, it's very smooth, no tangling at all, which is cool, which is perfectly fine. But if you've been spoiled by bundles your whole life, then this is going to drive you crazy. Now, what I was going to do initially after the first time I wore this hair and I wasn't happy for that one day, I was going to cut the hair off the wefts and braid it in and do that like Zoe Kravitz look where it's like real relaxed and whatever on the end. But I feel like that would take me forever. So I'm gonna have to do that like on a day when, you know, I think I'm gonna buy another one like this, but in the number 30, the two-tone 30, and braid my hair with it. The price point, it varies. At my beauty supply store, it was $39.99, and this is for the 24, 26, 28 inch. And I did trim a little bit. I trimmed a little bit in the front, like a little bit of layers going down, and I did cut the ends going across because it did have that the straight ends, you know, it was like a wavy to like here, and then the ends were like really straight, giving it that synthetic look, and I didn't like it, so I cut all of that part off. So it's not as long as it came. It does go all the way down to like my tailbone, a little bit past my tailbone, so if I didn't cut it, it would be all the way down to my butt. And yeah, that's pretty long. When I first installed this hair, I was going to give it a bad review because of the tangling and shedding, but it's really not that bad. It really isn't. It blends pretty well with my hair. Just leave out as little as possible, unless you get the one with the closure and you decide to use the closure, then, you know, go for that, good for you. But for me, I like my leave outs. It's pretty cool. And then I'm not really a fan of those tiny closures that they give you anyways. Although honestly, I don't know what the closure looks like. I didn't really go in depth to see what it was, because at my store we only have the long one there. They didn't have the short one there. So yeah, but again, I paid $39.99. I did go online and I found Hair Stop and Shop. I think they have it on sale right now for $23, if I'm not mistaken. I'll leave the link in the description bar so you guys can check it out. Yeah, and if you wanted it in all black, it comes in all black. If you wanted it in a solid 613, there is that. I think there are 2 other videos here on YouTube. I'll find them for you. Try to link them down below. If you haven't seen them already, go check them out. If you have any questions for me, leave them in the comment section below. If you feel like I should have mentioned something that I did not mention, leave it in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, peace, sign, and kissy face. Bye.